What's up, guys? Got something special here for you. This is SPL 8 finals. This is potentially the last game of this SPL. This is the scores if you want to know about that. Steve Angelo should be playing instead of Miltank Milk, but there was a little problem, and you can read about that there if you want to pause the video. But we got to concentrate on this fight. It is 5 AM in Australia, so sorry if this narration sucks. So the Thorn is using this very well-known sticky web. Actually, I think it's a bit different. It looks like that NJNP team, but I don't think that team has a Thunderous. So I guess it could be Defiant Thunderous, and he could just have two Defiant users. But Miltank Milk, who, I know nothing about Miltank Milk. I was actually super excited for the Thorn versus Steve when this round was released. I thought that looked like the most fun Sun and Moon game. But Miltank Milk does not have hazard removal, so the web should be putting in a lot of work, if that makes sense. Metagross looks like a pretty big threat, not super threatening, but it's almost impossible to stop it from getting one kill. Miltank could have Taunt on Tapu Koko. Okay, he just leads with Gengar. We see Mimikyu as the lead, which is kind of surprising. Just because Smeargle freely gets up hazards, but yeah, and then he doubles to Smeargle, expecting the Gengar to switch out. So this is a really nice move from the Thorn, trying to pressure in something slower than Smeargle, so that he can get up more than one hazard. Because if he makes the obvious Smeargle play and Miltank Milk leads with Keldeo, Tapu Koko, Metagross, Gengar, he can probably prevent multiple hazards from going up. So the web is up. This is going to stop Gengar's Scarf from working, or Keldeo's Scarf if they are scarfed, like one of them should be. Going hard to Koko makes it seem a bit more... No, that's just to prevent the Spore from going off, so that makes perfect sense. And up go Rocks. So this Smeargle is, I guess, useful for a sack, but the Thorn is absolutely smoked by Tapu Koko, so I imagine he'll just sack his Smeargle here. Because then he can force this Koko out with his Zygarde, and then when it comes in later, it's going to be much less useful because of the sticky web. So if Miltank Milk wins this game, the Tigers, his team, win SPL 8. And if the Thorn wins, the score will be 6-6, and we see a tiebreaker, which is best of 3. One Sun and Moon OU, and then each of the two teams chooses one tier to play in a best of 3. I should just give Steve Angelo a shout out, because if he ended up playing this game, it would have happened 2 days ago when I was at work, so I wouldn't have gotten this juicy content. And shout out to John Yu, my good friend, who wanted me to mention him in this narration. So yeah, now that all the hazards are up, it's probably AV Tangrowth. There's no reason why that would be anything but AV on this team, to deal with opposing Kokos and Greninja. And AV Tangrowth is at least 80% of the Tangrowths in Sun and Moon, because Helmet is pretty bad. A lot of things like ground types can all kill Tangrowth now with Z moves. Bisharp is hardly used. Well, there's a Bisharp in this game, actually. And the influx of special attack is okay. Alright, nice Spore, nice, really good move. I don't know what his last move would be, but the Spore is kind of wild. I don't even know what this has, Nuzzle? I have no idea what Smeargle would run, maybe Spikes, but I doubt it. So Miltank Milk is just going for repeated HP Ices. I guess I could have calced what that damage was. I actually intended to have the calculator over here at the start of this video as a professional, but yeah, lots of new special attackers, all of the Tapus, came in, which make AV Tangrowth better as well, so yeah. In comes Mimic. Thunderous is a pretty likely Z move user, so I think this would be Life Orb Mimikyu. It's not red card we see there. So it's probably just going to SD. No, just goes straight for Shadow Claw, and that does absolutely nothing. And he is Life Orb. That did 0. But yeah, Awakening Lando is super good to let Pinsir do work. But Miltank Milk is going to have to just be careful about when he evolves his Metagross, because once he is Mega Evolved, he's going to get hit with the web every time. And he won't be able to outspeed Pinsir after that. So yeah, the Thorn is not really in a great spot like this turn, but I think Sticky Web kind of does have to play from behind because of like the burden that having a Sticky Web setter on your team places on you. So yeah, they usually like lose a couple of lose a lot of momentum at the start of the game, and then once the Sticky Web starts hitting everything, they start picking up more kills towards the end. So yeah, I don't really understand Shadow. I guess he thought that Coco might just go for T-Bolt, but maybe SDing made more sense. I guess then he like risks getting nothing if Miltank Milk goes to Keldeo, but you still get to Shadow Sneak. Yeah, Miltank has a few like Pokemon that really the Thorn has 0 water resists, so that Keldeo can do a lot. Thundurus comes in, and U-turn I think is a nice play there, just choosing momentum rather than rocks right there, despite the Pinsir and Thundurus, I don't know. And he goes to Coco here, which nice Sludge Wave, wow, that's so this isn't the Z move mod, I guess Zygarde is the Z move mod, it might be Dragon Dance then, which is like what it has on the team, the Sticky Web team I was thinking this was. So yeah, not sure what Sludge is for. That could easily be for Tangrowth and Coco because he's super weak to both. I guess Miltank Milk just went to Coco knowing that it put a lot of pressure on the Thorn, but yeah, well, we saw that it didn't work, but like in most cases that would have worked, just at the expense of having Coco weakened a bit. I really think that DD Zygarde's going to win, because at +1 it kills like basically everything. So yeah, the Thorn, like Pinsir, is basically free there, and now he just gets off a huge hit on Metagross or kills Landorus. And then Zygarde's just going to win. I was thinking he could just weaken Tangrowth there, but going to Pinsir is just like a superior play. Especially with, like, he obviously wouldn't go to Tangrowth if he was helped, because he would just die to Sludge Wave, but yeah, this is just going to kill the Lando, like, not quite, but Lando is effectively dead. So rocks can't go up now, and I think the Thorn has got this. So Keldeo, if it's Scarf, could come in, but he goes to Metagross, which also makes sense. I guess if this is Rock Polish with... it's still lose to Bisharp if it was Rock Polish, but yeah, I guess just hard Mimikyu is the best play here. Mimikyu can definitely be useful in the late game to definitely revenge kill Gengar, but the only way he loses to Rock Polish Metagross is if Miltank Milk outplays all of the Sucker Punches from Bisharp. So I don't think he needs to like sack Pinsir to make sure he gets that damage, especially when Pinsir can revenge kill weakened Keldeo and Gengar, and get off a huge hit on Metagross if he forces it out. Yeah, I guess he'll just, I think going to Mimikyu is best here. And then he goes hard Zygarde. I guess he doesn't see Zygarde as, useful like I do, but yeah, the Milk makes an understandable play not evolving there because he doesn't want to get caught in the web later. And yeah, he can just evolve and kill this Zygarde with Ice Punch here, but he either doesn't have it or isn't willing to evolve to get that, so Thousand Arrows is going to do a big chunk to Keldeo, and the Thorn might want to keep his Zygarde now because it kind of looks like it walls that Metagross, or at least checks it. The Thorn has all the tools he needs. Well, not really, because Tangrowth can Life Orb stall Thundurus, and Thundurus is like his guaranteed big hit on Metagross to put it in range of Sucker Punch from Zygarde or whatever. So it is Scarf Keldeo, and yeah, Citrus Zygarde is what I think Pokeaim used this in a video recently, the NJNP version. I am surprised that he's... this team is just one of those annoying, fairly consistent hyper offenses that you don't need to, I don't want to talk down to, this people using this team, but this kind of hyper offense you can play, sort of autopilotedly. So that should... No, it doesn't kill, so Metagross is going to either die or come very close. Okay, Metagross is in range of, like, any priority now. Except for that. Not that one. But then, Pinsir, I guess, comes in here. I guess that risks a crit Bullet Punch, but I doubt it kills Pinsir because Pinsir has, like, huge physical defense. I guess we can do that calc, but he goes to Thunder instead. Like, this is, only questionable because you let Tangrowth come in somewhat. And yeah, I don't see Miltank Milk winning this from here. Yeah, he can't really lose. He can sack this, like, easily, and then just go to Pinsir and Frustration. And then Mimikyu plus Pinsir's priority and, like, Bishop, if necessary, can kill Gengar, so... Yep, that... Yeah, I wanted the Thorn to win this. I don't know why you would make that play. I guess Thundurus... No, Thundurus did a worse job than... Whatever. Pinsir comes in, I think it's, like, fine anyway, but... I guess he just sacks Bishop here and then T-Waves the Gengar. Maybe that was his, like, surefire win plan, but... Yeah, I think keeping Mimikyu is more reliable, but, like, it should be fine. So yeah, Thundurus comes in and T-Bolt's going to take out the Gengar, so that was somewhat, like, quick and straightforward for the game that decided SPL 8, but now we go to a tiebreaker, so hopefully I can record some tiebreaker games. The way this works is, I'm actually not sure of the order the games happen in, but I think, like, the Scooters choose one tier, which could be Sun and Moon OU. I kind of doubt it will be, because both teams, they, like, I'm not being rude or anything, but their Sun and Moon players aren't, like, renowned players. I know the Scooters had the strategy of just drafting, like, fairly new players for their Sun and Moon roster, so that they wouldn't, like, blow a lot of money on a tier that was, you know, not worth it, like, considering that there aren't really good and bad Sun and Moon players yet. You may as well just choose, like, solid up-and-coming ORAS players to do your Sun and Moon games. So yeah, I was looking at this earlier, and it's really hard to, like, decide which tiers each team will pick, because on paper I feel like the Scooters have better players in, like, almost every old gen except for maybe GSC. Yeah, and then, like, the Tigers don't even have a dedicated GSC player. But, like, I would have predicted, like, Axel, Jirachi, Philip... Actually, this one's pretty close. This is, like, just a 50-50 prediction. Ojama and Crystal to win. And, like, they all lost, and then most of the new-gen players won. Like, these are all even-ish matchups. And then Ubers could go either way, because, like, Mazar isn't really an Ubers player, but he's just been, like, winning so many Ubers games and playing super well. And then I think Star is better at LC, but I don't really know. And then doubles I have absolutely no idea about. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see which tiers they pick, but hopefully there's just a bunch of Sun and Moon and maybe ORAS so I can record more. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully the tie-break games are enjoyable, and I will see you next time.